Well, hello, lovely humans, and welcome back to my channel. This week we are talking about cheap wedding dresses, because I feel like more people need to talk about these. We're going to talk about buying used dresses, okay? So if you are watching this and you're like, immediately no, then I'm probably not going to change your mind with this video, right? That's not my intent. I'm not here to convince you to buy a used dress, because like you're either in or you're not in. But there are those people that are on the fence where they're like, oh, I just don't know if I want to. This is for you, sis. So why don't you sit on down, grab a cup of something sweet to sip on, and let's chat about how getting a used dress could save you on average anywhere from 50 to 90% the original sticker price. Tag price? Cost? You know the thing. Did I get your attention? Yeah. Okay, so without further ado, let's just jump right on into it. As most of you know, I myself wore a used dress for my wedding day. I was not planning on it, did not have the intent to do that. Went to an expo, they had some dresses, tried one on, fell in love, absolutely perfect. All in with tailoring cost me $500. You shut your mouth right now. $500. And that's still a pretty lofty cost for a lot of people, but going bridal dress shopping really was not an option for us because I think our entire budget all in was like $8,500. So I could not fathom spending $1,000, $1,500, plus, newsflash, even more with alterations, which by the way, if you need help or a guide for alteration costs, you're going to want to check this out because some of them are shockingly expensive. So if you know alteration costs or potential ideas of alteration costs before you go dress shopping, you may avoid the beaded lace number that needs to be hemmed drastically, because that's gonna be cha-ching, okay? So make sure you snag that, whether you're going dress shopping for something brand new, or you're buying something used, or what I'm stuttering. You need it. So now let's talk about the pros and cons of buying a used dress or a sample dress. Basically, something that's not brand new. But let's start with the pros because they're a little bit more positive and I love them. One, cheaper, like a lot cheaper. Two, way more unique. Maybe there's a dress that you liked that was in style, in vogue like 3 years ago, but you can't really find any brand new dresses like that today. This is like literally the perfect option for you. Or maybe you want something vintage or something with a far more specific style than you can find on the new market today. Next, it can be far more sustainable. Now, I will admit this was not my intention for buying a used dress. It was just like an unexpected benefit, as well as mine actually was from a charitable organization. So the donation went to charity. All of that was a wonderful bonus in my opinion. However, if you are striving to have a more sustainable event, then I highly encourage you to check out this avenue. But I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the cons, right? Because there are some glaringly large potential pitfalls when it comes to buying a dress from another person. Just like so many gaps of things that could be happening. One, it's like a lot more work. You don't just get to walk into a store, try something on, buy it, you're done. You have to do a lot more research, you have to do a lot more digging. It's not as simple as buying directly from a bridal salon. Secondly, there is a limitation, right? So it's not like you can pick a dress and then get it in any size. You have to find one that's your size because, fun fact, you cannot get a dress more than 2 to 3 sizes larger than your current size and expect to have it fit you well. So let's say for an example, you buy a dress size that is 6 sizes larger than what you are. It's gonna be either astronomically expensive or absolutely impossible to get it tailored to your body. So keep that in mind as you're shopping too. And then the biggest con, honestly, is the emotions of it. People want the shopping experience. They don't want to wear someone else's dress. They don't want their something borrowed or something old to be something that was like another human's dress, right? So while financially, of course, it would make much more sense to go for something that is much cheaper, right? Sometimes it just doesn't hit right. Yeah, it's that thing could have bad juju and I'm not here for it, right? And that's one that cannot and should not be argued against if that's how you feel. More power to you. And lastly is risky as heck if you're buying online. Even some of these like really well-known buying and selling wedding dress websites still have some gaps that leave some room to be desired because the last thing that anybody wants is to be scammed when they're trying to shop for their wedding dress. So the two biggest issues, fit and scam, right? Like we want to make sure that it fits. We want to make sure that you're not being scammed. First of all, you're going to want to go to actual bridal salons and try on some dresses. Now I've heard that some people are like kind of uncomfortable with this. And so I get that, like, do what the Lord is calling you to do, okay? So if that means that you're going to go try on other friends' dresses or what have you, you need to get some dresses on your body to see what styles you like. I cannot tell you how many times a bride has said, I thought I wanted this style, went in, tried it on, ended up wanting this style instead. You're going to want a little bit of that physical experience. Not only so you can see what ends up clicking and feeling right when you try it on, although I know for a lot of people, it's not this like big aha moment. It's just like, oh, I kind of like this. But it will also teach you some of the terms that you will then start searching for when you start searching for your dress, like sweetheart neckline or illusion neckline or empire waist or ball gown. Like dress words that you may not have known before. And it will also help you figure out what your wedding dress size is, because I don't know who came up with dress size versus straight size, but like, it's whacked, okay? They're like multiple size differences. So having like the physical act of trying it on, then you'll know what size you are and you'll know the range within you can shop online. Second issue, security. And I'm gonna speak specifically to buying online. So whether you're shopping through social media, like Facebook Marketplace, or you're into a designated used wedding dress site, and there are a ton of them. I have one that's my particular favorite, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. You need to make sure that you have some parameters in place. First and foremost, make sure your personal information is protected. This is not something that's easily done through something like Facebook Marketplace. Eventually, you're gonna have to give out your address to a stranger. You're gonna have to figure out how to pay them. I would also, 10 out of 10, recommend not meeting with this person in person, if at all possible, because, you know, people are crazy. So for the sake of the conversation, I really do feel like Facebook Marketplace is a viable option, but requires a little too much gambling, in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and like set that off to the side, and we're just going to talk about official companies that do this. So you can apply all of these thoughts and questions to Facebook Marketplace if that's something that you want to end up exploring, but specifically let's talk about these websites that sell them. So as you're looking through these different used dress websites, here are the questions I want you to ask yourself. Is this item guaranteed? Is it insured? Who's paying for the shipping? What kind of photos are going to be included? I'm also going to stop using fingers at this point because I'm going to lose focus. Are you getting photos of what it looks like on a model from a catalog or on the actual person that's selling it? And even more so than that, are you getting actual videos of the dresses? Not just stock photos of something online, but the physical dress itself. How many alterations have already been done to the dress? Because while it may originally be a wedding dress size 10, they may have done a generous amount of alterations to it. Perhaps they hemmed it way too short for you, or took in the bodice too much, or removed the little cap sleeves that you absolutely adore in the original photo. What are the return options, if any? Are you allowed to return the dress, or is it once you have it, you're stuck with it? How is information exchanging hands? Do they have your personal cell phone number, your email address, your home address? Do they have any of your payment information? You're also going to want to look for a website that potentially will process the payments for you, that will cover shipping and cover insurance, because that way your money is protected. That's obviously like a ton of questions to go through, but those are the ones that you're going to want to focus on when you're looking at different selling sites, including social selling sites, right? My personal favorite, without a doubt, hands down, is Nearly Newlywed. And this is absolutely not sponsored, although, hey, you guys go and call me. I'll be here. Thank you. Because of the security measures that they have in place. Now, there may be other dress selling sites that offer this, but I'm not aware that they do all of these things, though. All right? So let me double check my notes because I don't want to misquote anything. Return policy. They have a risk-free return policy. For a $50 restocking fee, you have 5 days to try on the dress and send it back if it doesn't work for you. So maybe you get it, you try it on, you're like, close but no cigar. You have the ability to send it back. Next, Nearly Newlywed takes a much more active role in the sale. Instead of just being a website upon which dresses are sold, they will help to moderate the conversations and act like a consultant both on your part as the consumer who's purchasing it and for the seller as well. It's not just like a Craigslist where someone shows up, dumps their information, and hopes for the best. There are actual real live consultants helping people with the buying and selling process. They will also process the payments for you, so your money is protected. They'll cover the shipping and they'll cover the insurance. Now, some people wouldn't mind paying a little extra for like shipping or insurance or whatever, but this is a huge bonus to have. And then lastly, they offer this really cool feature called the white glove upgrade, where they will work with the seller themselves, get a bunch of photos, a bunch of videos, and basically pre-screen the dress for you before it even ships. So they actively confirm that it looks exactly like it should be and will advise you throughout the process. If you are going to purchase a used dress, here are the biggest takeaways, okay? Time. It's going to take more time. But like I always say, you either spend the time or you spend the money. You don't have the money, maybe consider spending a little bit more time on something like this. 2, make sure it's secure. Make sure it's safe. Make sure you're protected. Make sure your money's protected. And in an ideal world, you're going to want some sort of return policy. Next, ask all the questions. All of them. Like, be that guy, okay? Ask all the questions. And that's why I love Nearly Newlywed the most. It's because I feel like there's so much more active consultants throughout the process. And then lastly, tailor. Your tailor is going to be your best friend. Bestie before all the resty, okay? I don't even know if that's the same, but it works. And plot twist. If you've made it this far in the video, this also works for selling your dress afterwards. So you're welcome. If you guys want to check out Nearly Newlywed, I've already linked it up in the cards, so I don't know if I can link it again, but I will leave it in the description box below. Go to browsing, check out some of their dresses. Again, not sponsored, but you guys call me if you need me, okay? Okay. So how about you? What are you doing? Are you going brand new? You going used? Are you borrowing from someone? Tell me your dress story if you haven't already. And if you don't, tell me what you think that you're looking for. Like, what's the ideal shape or color? Are you going for color? Are you going white, ivory? I want to know all the dress details in the comments below. So that's what we have for this week's video, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like the video, head on down there, hit that like button, and subscribe to this channel for more tips and tricks for the modern day bride. And until next week, bye, guys.